Well, welcome everybody. It's such a delight to be able to welcome each one of you, and thank you so much for taking a few minutes and spending it with us this evening. And my name is Brenda Proctor. I'm living in Indiana, and I am so excited to be here tonight, especially because I have three very special friends that are doing this with me, and I'm going to be talking about them in just a minute. Tonight, we're going to be focusing on nutrition made simple. That's a wonderful thing, isn't it? With a very special focus on children's health and nutrition. I think we would all agree, especially now, that we have many health concerns as a society. And we have those, honestly, even before COVID. As a society, our health has been and is continuing to decline rapidly. Did you know that in the early 1800s, America was #1 in health? And now, out of the top 100 countries, we are number 100. So we sure have some work to do. As a public school teacher of 33 years, it was very distressing to me to see the decline in children's health over the years. To watch that as kids got more and more what they call the alphabet, ADD, ADHD, going into the cafeteria and watching the kids get trays full of food, going right over, dumping them in the trash, and going to the vending machines. And then just seeing the effects of that. I taught, especially in the primary grades, and just such an increase of asthma and hyperactivity, allergies, obesity, food sensitivity, skin sensitivities, watching kids come in eating donuts and crashing and being on and sleeping through the morning. Some of my kindergartners couldn't get off the floor, so we had to put them in chairs because the only way they could get up was to roll over because they were so overweight. So it was a very, very stressful time of teaching. And so when we're looking at this picture and we're talking about why we're so unhealthy, and not just kids, 1 in 4 people in America right now or across the world will die of heart disease. 1 in 2 women and 1 in 3 men will develop cancer. 1 in 3 will have diabetes by 2050. And 1 in 5 children are obese. When you think about this, was such a startling thing to me. Our children are more harmed by poor diet than by exposure to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco combined. When I share that with people, they are often so shocked at that. So let's look at what we need to be eating to be healthy. We each need 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day. And if your kids are athletes or even as adult athletes, you need to eat even more. And you might wonder, why do we need so many? Well, there's a lot of reasons. When we look at these green bananas, we have produce that's picked before nutrition fully develops. Most of our produce comes from Central and South America and is trucked in. It's transported thousands of miles. They say that 90% of Americans don't eat enough servings. And I think that that is absolutely true in my experience. We don't get enough variety from the rainbow. They say the majority of kids' diets are brown and white, which basically is French fries and maybe white potatoes. Over the years, so we have lots and lots of reasons why we need more fruits and vegetables. And I think a lot of times when people aren't eating fruits and vegetables, they turn to multivitamins. I know I sure did. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so a lot of people go to vitamins instead, trying to make up the difference with food, and I sure did. As I was teaching all those years, I developed more and more issues with my health. And I love this picture, as Elaine always says, a picture's worth 1,000 words. When you're looking at the difference between a multivitamin and an apple, here over on the left side is the facts about a multivitamin. We only have 32 vitamins and maybe 108 identified minerals. But in an apple alone, if you look over at the picture on the right, that one picture is 400 of the 10,000 phytonutrients in one apple. Phyto means plant. So in that apple alone, just imagine 25 more pages, just like that one, of all the phytonutrients that you have, that those little tiny bits of everything. I think like the fourth one down, if you could see it on the phytonutrients, it would be acetic acid, which is what we get in fruits and vegetables. And we don't need a lot of it. We just need that tiny little bit from each one of the foods, each one of the colors, to work synergistically. They all work together. And so research has showed definitively that isolated vitamins do much more harm than they do good. So if we could look at the next slide. So what we really need, and what I needed 19 years ago, was one simple change. I needed to be able to add fruits and vegetables to my system. But it never occurred to me in a million years I would be able to add all of these fruits, vegetables, and berries and grapes in any kind of way, much less in a capsule form, like what when I was a kid would be called Jetson food in a capsule. And this one simple change of being able to add fruits and vegetables made such a difference for me. As soon as I saw that picture, I'm like, yes, please. It is such an incredible answer. Can you imagine every day getting all those fruits, all those vegetables, and all those berries and grapes that are vine ripened, which means fully nutritious, and in a form that is completely clean and we can easily accept. And I remember thinking, wow, yes, please. And then when you also consider being able to add these 4 bottles, the fruits, the vegetables, the berries, the grapes, and the omegas. That is what Juice Plus is. When I was introduced to it 19 years ago, I was taking over 50 supplements a day and 13 prescriptions and getting sicker every day. And when I heard about Juice Plus, I started taking it immediately. And it has made the biggest difference in my life. So what is Juice Plus? It's the nutrition from 30 fruits, vegetables, berries, and grapes, and omegas. It's whole foods that are harvested at the peak of ripeness, so all of the nutrition's intact. The produce is then pulverized. It's not juiced. It's whole food nutrition. Because in an apple, in an orange alone, most of the nutrition is in the peeling and the seeds. So they use every bit of that. Then they're dried into powders at very low temperature to preserve all the nutrients. And then they're put into capsules or delicious chewables. And then we also have several years ago, we added full spectrum omega oils. And omegas are so powerful because they target our heart, our brain, our joints, our skin, and our eyes. They're 100% plant-based. They're pure and sustainable, full spectrum omegas that are cold pressed, and even the capsule is vegan. And I know personally, I was taking a fish oil for 5 years before this and never noticed any difference. Within 2 weeks of adding our omegas, I didn't have dry eyes anymore. And after a year, my vision had improved significantly. So I am so excited about our omegas. Juice Plus is unique. It's food, not a multivitamin, with a food label, non-GMO, vegan, kosher, dairy and gluten-free, the cleanest produce you're ever going to get. It's NSF certified, which is third-party certification that it proves that what's on the label is what's inside, no banned substances, and that it's even safe for professional and Olympic athletes. And Juice Plus is absolutely the most researched nutritional product in the world, with now it's over 41 peer-reviewed published clinical studies. There's nothing else like it. So one of my favorite parts of our company is what we call the family health study. And for every adult, sponsoring adult, a child from 4 all the way through 18, even including full-time college students, can receive Juice Plus for free for up to 4 years. And that families can take Juice Plus for families take Juice Plus for at least 1 year consistently, and they fill out surveys. So this comes from the parents reporting that 60% missed fewer days of school, 56% were taking fewer over-the-counter prescriptions, 71% were drinking more water and visiting the doctor less, 71% were consuming less fast food and soft drinks, and 61% eating more fruits and vegetables. Can you imagine anything making that kind of difference in our kids' lives? So Juice Plus really does bridge the gap between what we may be eating and what we should be eating every day. It's easy, it's convenient, it's affordable, and it's made the biggest choice and biggest difference in our lives. And I wanted to show you very quickly, this is a picture. I've been eating Juice Plus for 19 years, and the little girl in the top is my niece. And so I took my niece, and my brother and sister-in-law took her brothers. So there they are 19 years ago. Then down underneath, 5 years ago. And we just found out 2 weeks ago that the oldest one, Micah, is now expecting their Juice Plus baby. So we're starting on another whole generation of beautiful Juice Plus kids. So I'm excited to have a chance to share with you. And now I'm so looking forward to hearing from Erin Vogelson as she shares about Juice Plus with her two darling boys. And then Caitlin, I'm sorry, just Erin. And then afterwards, Caitlin is going to follow, and Caitlin's our mom of soon to be 5, and such an example to all of us. And then Elaine is going to share a bit of her story and close us out. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Elaine and Brenda, for giving me this opportunity. My name is Erin Vogelson, and I live in the Maryland area. I've been living out here for the last 20 years, and it's been wonderful. This is my dreamland. So in 2014, my life totally changed. I was having some challenges with my menstrual cycles. They were heavy, and they lasted for almost 2 weeks. Then I went to the doctor and found out I had fibroids. What a blow, right? Well, that same year I was getting married in May. So finding out that I had fibroids, which blocked me from having children, you can imagine I was devastated and I did not know what to do. Now, I am a certified health coach, which I learned so many ways of improving my health by changing my diet, which I did. It still didn't accomplish my goal of having my dream family. So what did I do? I searched. And I feel like every time when you search for something, you will eventually find it. And that was my prayer. That same year, I was introduced to Juice Plus. What a prayer answered. I was working full-time in a very toxic environment. At that time, I was dealing with eczema, allergies. I was dealing with, I had previously had acne. So I was dealing with a lot of things, and my menstrual cycles didn't help either because sometimes it left me in an emergency rooms. The pain was excruciating, and I couldn't imagine that moving on with trying to have a family. So when Juice Plus came, it was a prayer answer. I didn't know what to expect, but I had the hope. I had the hope that this product was going to help me achieve my dreams. So what I did, I had the surgery. I had a myomectomy, and still I had some issues. It was hard to conceive after that. Went to fertility doctors. They gave me a short procedure, and behold, that really helped. So what did I do? I keep taking my Juice Plus because that was hope of plant powder nutrition that was going to help me. Soon after that, we were pregnant with my first son, Javon. When I saw that baby, he was like a little bean. He was jumping up and down. They said boys always had a hypersensitivity. They always were jumping. Until this day, that boy is jumping all over the place. My pregnancy went pretty well with him until my 36-week checkup. I had high blood pressure. And my doctors were really afraid for me. So they checked out Javon. Javon was head down. Javon was ready to go. He was like, I am ready, mom. And so when the doctor said, well, we're going to observe you at the hospital, I went to the emergency room. They checked me in. I was by myself. I was afraid mama. But soon my husband joined me and the doctor decided to do a C-section. And that wasn't my prayer. I didn't want a C-section, but I had one. And the whole goal was that I had plant powder nutrition in my body. That baby was born that evening at 6 p.m. He was under 5 pounds, but he was perfectly healthy. Nothing was wrong with him, nothing at all. Then the thought was, wow, if I didn't have my hope and prayer that Juice Plus was going to help me, what would have been? It could have been a lot worse than what it would have been. So I kept taking my Juice Plus. They tried to put me on medication for high blood pressure. I refused it. I just loaded up on my Juice Plus. I had my baby. And guess what? 6 months later, I was pregnant with number 2. When number 2 came, I was working. I remember dropping Javon off at the daycare and I had a full belly. I was strong when I was working. And then what happened, I had Ethan on time. He came at 38 weeks healthy. I had another C-section. By this time I said, you know what, praise God for C-sections at that point. I still had my plant powder. I recouped fairly quickly after having Ethan. And guess what? I stayed home, which was awesome because the business allowed me to stay home to be a full-time mama. And what a joy my boys are to me, to be able to watch them grow up. They are 100% Juice Plus babies, no doubt. They eat their vegetables. And even when I challenge them on eating new vegetables, what I do, I sit the plate in front of them and they may say, no, mommy, I don't want it. You know what I do? I said, that's fine. I just want you to try it. And I allow them to try it first. I'll wait because it takes patience to raise healthy children. No, I don't want to punish them for not eating their vegetables, but I know vegetables are very important. So I allow them to try it. They try it, they love it, they eat it. Now, when I hear my Ethan say, mommy, I don't see enough vegetables on my plate, I jump up, I get the vegetables and they eat their Juice Plus. And what makes the bigger blessing is that they walk around, they say, mommy, can I take my Juice Plus package everywhere? Everywhere we go, they're giving it to kids. They love it and they want to share it with their own children. I mean, their own friends. So being a part of this healthy living revolution has changed my life. And I'm looking forward to building a stable financial dream income that I can be able to help many mothers like myself to achieve their goals and their dreams, having a healthy, balanced, and fun, adventurous life. That's my story.
Thanks so much for sharing, Erin. I really enjoyed getting to hear your story, and Brenda for just walking us through what Juice Plus is. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Caitlin. I'm a pastor's wife and a homeschool mom. I have 4.5 kids. I'm 35 weeks pregnant with my 5th, and I'm here to tell you tonight to never say never. Because when I started this journey, I said I wasn't getting married. Then I wasn't going to have kids. I for sure was not going to drive a minivan. I absolutely would not homeschool. And then I was definitely not going to have more than 3 kids. And here I am. So I'm just kidding. Don't say never though, for real. I'm honored to tell you guys a little bit of my story tonight and just the journey I've been on the past 10 years. So my story starts as a very sick college student. My freshman year of college, I was actually hospitalized 3 separate times due to various illnesses. Whatever went around campus, I was sure to catch. And this is just how my life was. This is just how I grew up. I was always the sick kid. I was used to being sick all the time. In my senior year of college, I was preparing to move back on campus into my sorority house. And I just knew that I was constantly going to be sick again, being constantly around everybody and living with a group of women. But as that school year began, I made one little change and things drastically improved. My mom attended a Juice Plus presentation, much like this one, and she decided a few months before the start of my senior year that she was going to get Juice Plus for herself and my sister. And they both saw huge improvements in their health. My sister at 16 had her first colonoscopy, and she never had a normal GI function. Within 2 months of taking Juice Plus, she was able to come off of all prescription medication and have normal GI function. My mom is a teacher, and she would get sick pretty often too. She taught middle school PE at the time when she started on Juice Plus. And she would catch pretty much everything that went around the school. Like, we knew flu season was coming because mom was down for the count. And she noticed that she wasn't getting sick as often. And so I asked my mom, Mom, could you please put me on Juice Plus? Like, I think I really need this stuff too. Why does Lauren get it and I don't? And so my mom signed up my dad, and I was one of the free children's health study participants. And so I started Juice Plus for free my last semester of college. And since I started taking Juice Plus, that moving into my sorority house, I can tell you I have had less than 5 colds since then, and I have not had a fever from a viral infection. I've had 1 fever from nursing my firstborn when I had mastitis, and that's the only fever I've had the past 10 years. So from then on, I just knew that Juice Plus was a non-negotiable in my life. I knew I always needed it, and I wasn't willing to give it up or risk going back to the sickness that used to encompass my life. I graduated college, got married, and told my husband that he needed to start taking Juice Plus because I didn't want to be a young widow, and his family had some pretty scary heart disease in his family. So he told me to find a way to fit it into his youth pastor's salary, which was a challenge. So I became a partner with the Juice Plus company for the sole purpose of offsetting my cost. But I found that health naturally came up in so many of the conversations I was having with people that I was meeting in my new life in Texas, that before I knew it, I had several friends and family members ordering with me, and I was actually able to cover our cost. And so I very unexpectedly got pregnant with our first child about a year into our marriage. And for the past almost 9 years, I have been pregnant or breastfeeding with the help of Juice Plus. I've had 5, y'all, I am so ready to be done. I've got at least another year to go nursing, and then we'll see, but hopefully no more. But so for the past 9 years, I've been pregnant or breastfeeding with Juice Plus. I've had 5 very healthy pregnancies and nursed 4 very healthy babies, soon to be 5. And there are 2 things that I love most about Juice Plus during pregnancies. The first is that the berries in our berry blend reduce swelling. So even at the end of my pregnancies, like walking into the hospital, I'm not this huge swollen mess. And I just really appreciate not having to experience all of the uncomfortableness that I know a lot of moms experience when they're swelling. Having a baby in Texas at the end of August, like, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I was hot, but I wasn't swollen to the point of not being able to wear my rings or anything like that. And so I really appreciate that part of Juice Plus. And then I also love that because Juice Plus is bioavailable, which means it gets absorbed into our bloodstream and it passes to the baby, that the baby that you are growing gets all of the benefits from Juice Plus, as do you. So while that tiny baby is in your belly, it gets to taste all of those wonderful fruits and vegetables. And can you talk about giving your kids a leg up on craving fruits and vegetables, going into, actually eating and not having to fight that fight consistently every single day? Like, that, it's just such a blessing to know that my kids are exposed to all those fruits and vegetables from day one. Juice Plus is also super great for breastfeeding because in order for a mom to be able to nourish her child, she has to first nourish herself. It's literally the most basic form of self-care. And I will never forget seeing a handout from a lactation consultant that the first recommendation was double Juice Plus while breastfeeding. So that way the mom can nourish herself and then her body can then nourish the baby. And that just really stood out to me. And I share that with all of my friends that are struggling with supply issues. You know, you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of somebody else. So having kids has been a very eye-opening experience. And I understand now why I was so sick growing up, just watching my kids and how their immune systems function. And to be completely honest, I will always continue to share Juice Plus because it's worth its weight in gold as a mom. My kids very rarely get sick. And for that, like, I'm just so thankful. Because can you imagine having to take 4 kids into a doctor's office every other week because somebody's sick? I don't have to do that. And it is just so wonderful. We go in for our well checks, and that's when we see our doctors. And I'm just so thankful for that. So I'm going to be the first to tell you that we try and eat really healthy, but there are days that we fall very, very, very short. And I have to go through the drive-through twice. It's not ideal, but it gives me such peace of mind knowing that my kids are covered with their Juice Plus, and I can always throw some extra in the back of my minivan if it's been a really hard day of eating, you know? So, okay, like I was saying, we don't go to the doctor often, which I'm very thankful for. And I just want to talk a little bit about sickness really quick. So it's not bad for our kids to get sick. That's how God designed our bodies to work. So when you get a fever, your body is reacting to a viral infection. So that is your body's way of saying, okay, something's going on, something's not right, we need to figure this out. And it's creating antibodies to fight that infection. So it's not bad. It's not actually bad to get sick. What's bad is when we are constantly sick, when we just continue to be sick or we can never get well. And my kids don't experience that. And for that, I'm so thankful. So they may get a little sniffle, but they're back up the next day. My son, is jumping off of the 3rd story of our playground the day after, he had a sniffle. And that's just amazing to me because that was not my experience growing up. So I just know that Juice Plus is having the effect on them that I never had growing up. So as a mom, Juice Plus has also provided me with the opportunity to contribute financially to my family while staying home full time and homeschooling. My Juice Plus income paid our rent when my husband left his youth pastor position to pursue a master's degree for our family. And I cannot tell you guys how good it felt to be in seminary housing and tell my husband, it's okay, I can pay the rent this month. I mean, even though we had a joint checking account, like I was so proud of that, to be able to fully support my husband when he was pursuing something that would better our family. My Juice Plus income allows me to contribute to a Roth IRA each month, which is really important to me because I don't want to be a financial burden to my kids later in life. The way that we have structured our home is that we live off of my husband's salary and we play and save off of mine. And so it brings me so much joy as a full-time stay-at-home mom to be able to pay for all my kids' sports registration fees, all their summer camps, dance classes, our Dollywood season passes, to be able to pay for our kitchen that we just remodeled, and to know that I'm about to have a baby and that my paycheck is still going to show up in my checking account is just icing on the cake. So I'm so incredibly thankful for the life that God has provided through Juice Plus by changing my health, giving me a very healthy family, and a purpose and a mission outside of motherhood.
Oh my goodness. I literally have goosebumps just hearing y'all's stories. It just warms my heart. And I know you're thinking, okay, this is for young moms, young kids. What in the world is this late 50s lady talking? But here's what I just wanted to kind of wrap up tonight's call. And just to, we hear a lot of opportunities to create income, but they kind of, what I've seen down through the years is they come and they go. And my background is I'm a certified financial planner. So finance is something that has always caught my interest in my eye. And so I watch these businesses, and it's actually what drew me after initially the Juice Plus product drew me in. But then this mission drew me in further. And so what I want to share with you is a company not only that has a product that you clearly can see has an unbelievable impact on our health, but also the mission behind this amazing product. And I've been on this mission of inspiring healthy living now for 22 years. And so although I'm not a young mom, I once was right where both Aaron and Caitlin were. And let me advance the slides here. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. The picture on the left were my two girls in 2000, so 22 years ago. That was my why for starting Juice Plus. And if you're on this call, my guess is you're probably a parent, and we all know that weight of feeling responsible for those kids. And when I look at that picture, it reminds me of that feeling of, oh my goodness, you know, I'm responsible for the thought that would go through my head. I'm responsible for them just surviving or thriving based on what I feed them, how I raise them. And so that 22 years ago was my why for adding Juice Plus to my family's diet. And I remember I didn't know what to do. We started taking synthetic vitamins, isolated vitamins, and my husband had a negative reaction. So I really started studying, what does it take to be healthy and to really give our family that nutrition that they need. And I love that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And a dear friend, like Aaron and Caitlin's story, a dear friend shared Juice Plus with me, and I'm forever grateful. And so our family got on Juice Plus. If you can see the picture prior to getting on Juice Plus, I'll have to back up with my story a minute. We were trying to juice, and I don't know how many of you guys have ever juiced before, but we weren't all that great at it. And if you can see Sydney's face, the little one's face there, I'd set the juice down in front of my girls, and that would be the look I would get, like, Mom, you've got to be kidding me. I'm not drinking this. And so it was a challenge to my family. My husband traveled all the time. And so getting juice, getting nutrition into our family was a challenge. And we thought we found an answer with juicing, but it wasn't the solution we needed. And again, Juice Plus gave us exactly what we needed, with 30 raw fruits and vegetables, like mentioned earlier, in gummy and capsule form. And that to me was a gift from God, because I was looking for a way to nourish my family. And then God gave me 2 for 1. Have you ever heard that saying? So I was looking for nutrition, but also what was going on was I was praying for a way to create additional income into our family. I just quit my job as a financial planner. We lost half of our income. And so I was praying about, God, I need something that I'm passionate about, but that I can still stay home and be with my kids. And if you look at that picture of my little girl, when my girls were little, that was in 2000. It was Jack Featherston's 5th birthday party. My dear friend Jan had invited my girls to his birthday party. And it was the first time my girls ever rode a pony. And guess what? I got to be there for it. And, you know, because of the mission behind this amazing product, it has given me the ability, just like Caitlin and just like Aaron shared, to stay at home. On the picture on my right, on your right, is my 2 daughters today. And I didn't miss one ballet, I didn't miss anything, because not only did I get the nutrition, but I also had the ability to create an income stream through this amazing business just like Brenda talked about, we have a very unique product. We also have a very unique business model. And for $52 a year, you can become a partner. You can work from anywhere. It's a small product line. Fruits and vegetables pretty much covers everything. It's consumable. So it's not a one-time sale. It is me locking arms with my customers, just like myself 22 years ago, wanting to see my family's health taken to the next level. It created a supplemental income. In the beginning, I wasn't looking for a full-time income. I just wanted enough, kind of what Caitlin was saying, to cover the fringes, to cover the ballet classes and the swim meets and the vacations. But what I soon found out is as I saw people get well, I was inspired more and more on this mission myself. This business model allows us no inventory. I'd done enough tax returns to know I didn't want a business that had to deal with inventory. It's low overhead. There's so much support with business websites. And you can see by the number of people on this team, we come together and encourage and help each other on this journey. And lastly, commissions, no matter where I work my way up to in this business. In 22 years, you can guess that there's been times I had to step back because I wanted to be there for my immediate family and extended family. And the beautiful thing, the company, this unique business model, the Juice Plus company would let me step right back in where I left off and pick up. There's no requirements. I worked at my own pace, and it is an amazing opportunity that has been given to us. And the most unique thing, I think, from a business standpoint, is the fact that our Juice Plus company provides a full benefits package when you hit a national marketing director level. Medical insurance, dental, vision, life insurance, disability insurance, chiropractic care, family tuition. Both my girls finished college, and I'd love going to the mailbox and getting that tuition reimbursement check. Who does that? And then lastly, I get a monthly expense allowance to pour back into my business. These make the Juice Plus, not only our amazing Juice Plus product unique, but also this incredible mission that goes along with it. So I want to take a minute just to invite you to join us. At a minimum, we invite you to get started on Juice Plus. If I were you, I'd be like, can you drive me, whoever invited you to the call, say, can you drive me over some Juice Plus because I want to get started today. That's how much I believe in Juice Plus. But maybe as we've been talking, you're thinking, not only do I need it, but my husband or my wife, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister. If you're thinking of 3 or 4 people right off the bat that you want to share Juice Plus with, we invite you to join us on this journey of inspiring healthy living and becoming a partner with the Juice Plus company. Or maybe you're at a point you're like, you know what? I want to create a long-term residual income stream. And I'm here to say 22 years, that income stream just gets stronger and stronger every single month. And 22 years later, I still can't wait to get up the next morning. I can't even say to come into this office and work, but to come in and hopefully be an inspiration to my customers, to the partners who I work with, and to the people out there who I know are just like me, looking for a way to provide great nutrition for their family and to provide an income stream through the ability of having passion, be passionate about something and knowing that you make a difference. You can make a difference in someone's life. So we invite you to join us. Whatever level you want to enjoy, we say, come on. We're looking for people to lock arms with. And so we invite you to join us on whatever level works for you. So we just want to say, get back to the person who invited you to the call tonight. This product is an unbelievable gift to your health. And this business could be an unbelievable gift to your wealth. Thanks for being on the call with us. If you have some questions, we invite you to go ahead and ask them. We are privileged. I'm going to stop the recording.